Hello lovely people, welcome to my kitchen. Today we have some orders to deliver. We are going to prepare jollof rice for 20 people, and so that's what we are going to do. Some are vegetarians, some are not vegetarian, so we are going to do that together. In today's video we are not going to do much of talking, we'll do much of watching. Yes, so let's see how we're going to do it. And so I'm going to start with the veggie. That is the vegetarian diet, and this is our chunks. We are going to steam it a bit with some salt and all-purpose seasoning. So that's what we are doing now. And we are also going to prepare our stew. What we are doing is we are going to prepare the stew together. So this is a mixture of pepper, the tomato seeds. I usually blend them with some onions and peppers. And so we are preparing the stew together. Then we'll divide it, some for the vegetarian diets and the others for those who are not vegetarian. So we are going to fry our chunks now. It's okay, well steamed, and we are checking on our stew. This time around we are going to add ginger, garlic, onions, also blended together. As I said, we are preparing for 20 people, and so I'm going to use 5 kg of rice. And the 5 kg I'm going to cook 2 cups. When I say 2 cups, I'm talking of Ghana 2 cups for the vegetarians, because they are not much, and the 8 cups is going to be for those who are not vegetarian. So we are frying our chunks now. And because you are using it for jollof rice, we'll fry the chunks to be a bit hard, hardcore. Yes, so our chunks ready. We are taking it from the oil. So that's what you're going to use to prepare our jollof rice for the vegetarians. Yes, checking on our stew. Getting ready. So I just added dry thyme to it. One of my favorite spices, dry thyme. It smells so good and add extra taste and flavor to your jollof rice. All-purpose seasoning also to it. And some salt. And so I'm dividing the stew now. So this one is going to be for the vegetarians. As I said, I'm going to prepare 2 cups. And what I usually do is, if I'm cooking jollof rice for 10 people, then I'll cook 5 cups of rice. So I assume that 2 people will eat 1 cup. So if it's 20 people, then 10 cups of rice. So this is 20 people. And so what I'm doing now is, the vegetarians, I'm going to cook 2 cups, meaning it's going to serve 4 people, and they are 4. And those who are not vegetarians, I divided the rice into 4 cups, meaning each bowl is going to serve 8 people. So I just added the chunks to the vegetarian one, and I'm going to add my rice to it. What I do is, when I'm cooking jollof rice, I don't let the stew cook 100% before adding my rice to it. Wooden spoon. I'm changing it to a wooden spoon. So this, you just fry it a bit, then you add water to it. You don't have to add too much. Anyway, the quantity of water also depends on the kind of rice you are using. Yes, will tell whether you need to give it a lot of water or not. So I'm adding black and white pepper to it. Then I'll stir everything together and allow it to cook. I'm checking on this sauce also, and I'm adding my rice. Just 4 cups of rice. As I said, the cup is Ghana cup. Not Obroni's cup. On your brain cup, Ghana, yeah, 1 cup. That's 4 cups. So just adding water to it. And this one, I'm going to add black and white pepper to it. Then this is the second one, also taking 4 cups. One thing is, when you are cooking jollof rice for a lot of people, in order to get it well, make sure you cook them in small batches. Don't cook too much together. Just divide them so that you can get them well cooked. And then it will prevent some of your rice being cooked and others also not cooked. If I'm cooking 5 kg of rice, I'll divide it into 2, 5 cups, 5 cups. Then I'll cook them. You don't stress yourself cooking everything in one pot. No, you don't do that. And one thing is, when you cook jollof rice with negro pepper, the flavor it adds to it, it resembles your eyes and your throat. So we are going to stir fry some vegetables for the rice, yes. And because the people I'm cooking for, it will take time for them to eat. That is why I chose to stir fry my vegetables instead of making it salad with the creams and all that. No, they are going to keep it for long. Some will even take it home. So you stir fry the vegetables and it will not get spoiled. Yes. What I was supposed to do was to first stir fry the carrot first before the onions and the cabbage, but hey, it will not cause any problem there. So I just added some bell peppers also to it. So I'm going to add the rest of the cabbage to it and stir fry it for a minute. And the vegetables too, I divided them into 2. So I didn't want to do everything together. I just chose to do them in small portions so that I'll get everything well as I want it. I'm adding salt solution and some all-purpose seasoning. The salt that I use is the sea salt type. So most of the times I make them into solution form before I use them. I'm adding black and white pepper also to it, and then you stir everything together. Okay, so we are checking on the veggie jollof rice. And one secret to tasty jollof rice is, 1, your stew being tasty, and also cooking a jollof rice with enough stew is very necessary. So I just sprinkle a little bit of water on top, and I'm going to cover it with a foil on a medium heat and allow it to cook. So we are checking on the other one. These are not vegetarians, and I added chicken stock to it. It's rather unfortunate my camera didn't capture that part. I added chicken stock to the 2 because we are going to serve these ones with coated chicken, or what we call KFC chicken type, and I have a recipe on that so you can check. So I'm stir frying the next batch of vegetables, and this time around I started with the carrots because it's very hard. It's the hardest part of the vegetable. And then my bell peppers too. So stir fry this for some time, then straight away with our cabbage We don't expect the vegetables to be very soft. No, I am not doing this to be tender. I still want some crunchiness in them, so we don't stir fry them for a very long time. Just a little heat apply to it, and that is okay. So we're adding some sauce solutions also to it. We'll give it all pepper seasoning, dry thyme, white and black pepper also. So we are checking on the jollof rice again. We'll give it a little bit of water. So what I'm doing is I'm preparing the jollof rice, some on a coal pot. Yes, so I've moved the two non-veggies to a coal pot so that my stove can take care of the vegetarian one and the stir-fried vegetables. I'm going to sprinkle some water on top. And one thing you should also bear in mind is cooking jollof rice, you don't need too much fire. Jollof rice can cook with the steam, so all that you need to do is let your fire be low or medium, and make sure you cover it with your napkin or your tissue or your foil, and the steam itself cook it very well. And you also don't need to give it too much water. It doesn't mean your rice should be very hard. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a hole in the middle and cover it. This technique helps the rice to cook very well, especially the single ones that looks very hard in it. When you create a hole in the middle of the rice, you cover, the steam will come out and it will cook all those ones. So we are checking on our vegetarian and it's done, it's cooked. The vegetarian jollof rice is cooked, and what you're going to do is you are going to add some sweet corn to it. Yes. And so the sweet corn, you just have to make sure that you get all the water from it. You don't need water in the rice at this point. Everything is well cooked. You just adding the corn to it. And some onions also. Then you will just cover for it to simmer for some few minutes. Let's say a minute will do. For me, I love onions, so most of the time I have a lot of onions in my food. Onions are one of the things that I put in my food. The last thing that I usually put in my food. Okay. This one too is almost done, or fully cooked, not almost. It's cooked, so I'm just adding the onions to it, and that will be all. Just a minute of time given to it, and the jollof rice is ready. Yes, so okay. So our jollof rice, some party. This one is some small party be jollof. Ready. You will love every bit of it. So we are going to package it, and what I'm doing is I'm going to add some garden peas to it. So I'm going to mix it with garden peas. Yes, you can add a garden peas to the jollof rice whilst on fire, but I prefer doing it this way. Mix everything together, and then we're going to package it. So this is the vegetarian one. What I usually do is the package that I'm going to use, I mostly wash them with soap and water, rinse them, then I'll use tissue to wipe them very well before using it to package my food. So we have the vegan or vegetarian jollof rice. We have the non-veggie. We have some yam balls. I have a recipe on yam balls on the channel. You can check some baked beans. We also have some green chili there, and this is our KFC chicken. You can check the channel for a recipe to that for our coated chicken or KFC chicken recipe, and our green chili also. We have a recipe on that. So my sister is packaging the baked beans and the chili separately. Then I'm also packaging the jollof rice, and so that's what we are doing. We need to get it quick to the people. They are waiting for us. Okay, so that's Mark's kitchen, and sometimes we take orders and we are done with our packaging. So we package the vegetables separately because not everybody would want to take vegetables, so you don't add it to the rice. So this is it. And then our vegan jollof rice also, well packaged with the baked beans and the chili. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Bye.